Okay, let me see if I can do this one. Okay, MP3. Let's see if I got it. Here it is. No, I need the MP3. Here it is. This is what I'm looking for. Hi, Nikki. Necessary Truths. Hello, Diana. Yep.
Let's dissolve our pain and get out of danger. Heal all the wounds and cure all the anger. I'll be the doctor, you be the patient. Here is your medicine, I'll help you take it. No, it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. It wipes out the fear and makes you live longer. It's not a lotion, it's no magic potion. It's just a dose of love in the moment. I'll watch you while you're lying there, while your eyes are closed and your heart is bare. Perfectly still, but still aware. And I'm right here because I care, because I care. Holding your hand, I know you can feel me. I'll talk in a whisper, I know you can hear me. When you awaken, when we are conscious, totally healed and cured, just watch this. No more weeping, no more sadness. Gone is the fighting, gone is the madness. We can choose to become alive, or just disappear, or become survivors. I'll watch you while you're lying there, while your eyes are closed and your heart is bare. Perfectly still, but still aware. And I'm right here because I care, because I care.
We're not going to let you go down in flames. No, no, no. We're going to have fun. We're going to do this right.
more sadness. Gone is the fighting, gone is the madness. We can choose to become alive, or just disappear, or become survivors. I'll watch you while you're lying there. Na 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 na. While your eyes are closed and your heart is bare. Na 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 na. But still aware. And I'm right here because I care. Because I care. Na 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 It's just a dose of love in the moment. I'll watch you while you're lying there. Na 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 na. While your eyes are closed and your heart is bare. Na 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 na. Perfectly still, but still aware. And I'm right here because I care. Because I care. Na 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 na
Okay, enough of the musical hilarities. Greetings. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, that should work now. Hello? I think I did mute myself. Wow. Let me just check on the stage here. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Yeah, that's where I guess I forgot one of the buttons. Hello, I'll start all over again. Hello, everybody. This is just a kind of very short, random, spontaneous little video to let you guys know I'm still alive. I'm still here on planet Earth. It's been extremely bumpy. It's been extremely bumpy for the whole of planet Earth. Frankly, it's not just me. Everybody I know, except a couple of people who are doing really well. Some other people I know are having a really, really rough time. Okay? And you can hear me now. Yay! Hello, Electra Ray. Hello, Queen of Water in Australia. Hello, Mimi Divinity. And let's see, I was going to say hello to Necessary Truths. And there's also Gregory. Hello, Gregory. I saw you there. And Diana Lynn. Hello. Okay. Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of do this thing where I have to go through my own sort of like self-healing things, because I'm just as vulnerable to you guys as all the stuff that's going on out there in the planets. And as you know, another thing I like to do is I like to blame it on the planets. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to escape from any responsibility about living my life or carrying my burdens or excusing any misbehavior. The reason why I like to so-called blame it on the planets is because without fail, anytime I reference the planets concerning a situation in my own life, or if I'm doing personal reading for somebody, I can pinpoint the exact aspects that seem to be the trouble spots and the sweet spots. So I thought, just as a favor, as a gesture to let you guys know that if you're having a really freaking weird, rough time right now, you're not the only one, and you too can blame it on the planets. So I'm going to go back to the stage in a minute, and I'm going to illustrate what I'm talking about so that you understand. Over here, I am in sunny Las Vegas right now, but actually it's not sunny. It's turned very cloudy, cold, breezy, and some big storms just blew over. And I just, I'm not cleaned up or anything. I just thought I better just check in with you guys, because it's been such a long time. I've had a disastrous last couple of months. In different ways, some of it to do with my apartment in Los Angeles. There's a nightmare going on over there with a criminal who's now living inside the place. And then I had all sorts of extreme fraud that I got sucked into, and I lost about a year and a half worth of savings that I had made from working hard as I could on my little YouTube channel. So... Hello, Fertility. Yes, I get it. So I want to go to the charts a minute so I can just pinpoint some of the things that I was talking about, so you can get this sense of relief. Remember, everything is exactly as it should be. And why is that so? How is that so? It's because it can't be any other way. These are the laws of nature, irrefutable laws of nature that no matter how powerful you might be, how rich you might be, you cannot override the laws of nature. There is universal truth, universal law, and it never changes. But sometimes humanity gets really full of itself, really cocky, especially if you're heavily vested in power and money and control. And all of those themes come under heavy, let's say, what's the word? Association with Pluto. So we still have an intense pressure from Pluto in about 25 degrees Capricorn, impacting the whole of planet Earth, but especially the United States, above, way and above. And everyone who lives and conducts their lives as a United States citizen, or who lives here inside the United States and enjoys the privileges of the United States. The United States is in deep, deep trouble. You've probably figured that out. It's great for certain folks in certain times, certain ways, but as an entity, if you think of the United States like as a person or a corporation or an entity, it's very, very sick. It's very diseased, and it is I don't know if it's trying to survive. If it will survive, I don't know, because I'm just learning as we go. But let me go to the charts and I'll kind of illustrate it a little bit better. Hold on. So you've seen my astrodoodles before. I think most of you have anyway. So this is what we have for today. Just for today. So it's a very extreme chart. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 planets all clustered over here on this one quadrant. That's an intense imbalance of energy. It's an intense amount of pressure concentrated in these aspects on a global scale. When you have the planets all scattered all over the place, things feel very, very different. But what's happening with these alignments here is that these particular energy fields are being amplified dramatically. So here we have good old Pluto in Capricorn. We've been dealing with it for, 12 years now? We still have another 3 or 4 years to go. And it's in the high 20 degree marks, and this is, impacting the United States of America. We've talked about this a lot before, 1776 revisited. So that's just one little item, okay? The next thing that we have here is in the sign of Aquarius. We have Saturn, Jupiter, Moon, and Mercury at this very moment in time, all clustered here in a stellium for the United States, for Earth. Now, this also is highly relevant to the United States because the United States was born with the Moon in Aquarius and with the South Node in Aquarius. Okay, so the North Node for the United States is over here in Leo. So this axis here is being heavily accentuated too. Over here with Pluto in Capricorn, this is like the reality check, people. There's the two sides of the energy. Intense pressure for corporatocracies, oligarchs, monarchies, totalitarianism, absolute command and control without any heart center or heart energy, done at the expense of humanity, where anyone in humanity who is suffering or dying is literally just simply collateral damage to the oligarchs and the people who are deeply vested in power, control, and money, and they are determined to maintain power and control and their money. Okay? So this is under a lot of pressure right now, especially in the United States. The foundational core of America is very fragile, and in some ways it's falling apart. The next part is falling apart over here. One of the main themes about the United States is the American characteristics of humanitarianism. But there's a difference between humanitarianism for the sake of humanity as opposed to humanitarianism disguised as something benevolent in order to benefit the oligarchs. That is a very sick, perverse relationship. And you've seen that in some of those big famous name foundations like Mr. William Gates and that crowd. All of those people, I'm not going to go into that on this video. Next we have over here the Piscean energy. It's a completely different vibe. We have Venus, Sun, and Neptune all very tightly clustered together in the 12th house of self-undoing, the house of disease, the house of divinity, the house of being so close to nature that there's no definition or difference between reality and fantasy. And it's very, very strong placement for people who are like hypersensitive or psychics or super creative, inspirational artists, writers, musicians, healers. But the shadow flip side of that energy is squalor, filth, disease, lies, treachery, betrayal, deception, abuse, imprisonment, all these kind of sickly energies. So, the next thing we have is poor little Chiron over here. Let's leave that. Uranus is in Taurus over here. So this isn't going away anytime soon. Uranus, the planet of deep instability, shock, awe, disruption, rebellion, extreme desire for freedom and truth and honesty and justice. That energy over here is putting a lot of pressure in the Taurus sign. The Taurus energy is very different from the Uranian energy. So basically what's happening here with the Uranus energy in Taurus is still in the first third, not even at 10 degrees yet. That's causing what I would call a lot of disruption, shock, chaos. On an earthly scale, we're talking about highly unpredictable, very bizarre things like extreme weather events, flooding, lightning storms, hurricanes, tornadoes, volcanoes, and tectonic plate movements happening in very unpredictable, very extreme, bizarre ways that are really disturbing a lot of the Weather Channel people and anyone on planet Earth who's at a vulnerable hotspot, especially the Ring of Fire, all the earthquake zones, the hurricane zones, the tsunami zones, and all that. So it's perfectly natural and understandable that there will be so much upheaval on planet Earth right now. But when you put that in very hard squares with Saturn, okay, in Aquarius being the energy represented by Uranus, this is an extreme, harsh, let's say, square angled over here. And I personally interpret this as serious disruption in the financial markets, okay? Taurus being the sign of money, okay? Saturn becoming the sign of, let's say, the teacher, the great karmic teacher. In other words, you will feel the pain if you don't do your homework and you don't do things justly and according to the law. And Saturn in Aquarius is demanding freedom and liberty and decentralization of financial markets to benefit the people as opposed to benefiting the oligarchs. This also is a harsh aspect in terms of, the earth aspects that we talked about, things like the volcanoes and earthquakes and all of those. Hello, Jeffrey. Hello, SJ Starzy. Hello, Akat. And so I'm just running through some of the basics here. And then let's move on. We've got Mars and Gemini. So in a few weeks, Mars is going to be hitting the North Node. So there's going to be a lot of activity in the area of truth and justice with communication, honest, truthful communications in worldly commerce, internet, let's say, things like everyday banking and transactions, ATM machines, credit card swipers at grocery stores, and anything and everything that can go wrong will go wrong, because the North Node is under extreme stress. The North Node is in Gemini. The human journey is about taking our great wisdom and knowledge that we've amassed over the last 6,000 years in the South Node, Sagittarius energy of vast awareness, let's say, understanding of the universe and how that works. How are we going to apply that and bring that down to everyday practical use here in this world? There's great temptation to pervert that energy and information and knowledge for sickly, self-serving, egomaniacal purposes. And yet the North Node will demand simple truth, honesty, clarity of words, clarity of speech. And of course, what you know is happening is that this is heavily perverted and undermined through fraud, deceptions, lies, betrayal in the world of global communications, especially in the United States with the politics that we have here and so on. There's a lot of stuff going on in the United States. I don't want to go into the exact details of it here that relate to this very, very sick, unhealthy energy over here. This is a huge Pisces stellium. It's going to be a stellium on the new moon because in a couple days, the moon is going to be here in Pisces. So we're going to have 4 planets in Pisces: Sun, Moon, Venus, and Neptune, all piled up here, hard squaring the North Node. The energy of fraud, deception, lies, betrayal, manipulation, sickness, disease in the world of global communications. For example, all the big global communication, what are they called, corporations that own and run everything, with the internet, with all the, I'm scared to use those words, but you know the ones I'm talking about, GOOGLE and YOUTUBE and FACE, book, and, you know, TWI, TUR, and all of those folks. The pressure is increasing, and it's going to become more and more apparent on a global scale how completely perverted and distorted the world has become due to the shadow expression of Capricorn here, as the oligarchs try to impose a complete global totalitarian agenda on the whole of planet Earth, because it suits them really, really well to do that. Okay? That is their dream come true. Total world domination, new world order, and all those kinds of things. You've heard about those. Anyway, so this is extremely stressful and disruptive and relatively easy to understand. You can see it in your life, in the world of finances, all the chaos with the planet and weather, and what feels like injustice in the world of humanity. I'm trying to talk in very vague terms because my channel is very susceptible to using specific names on specific subject matters, so I'm just being kind of loose and vague here. So this is hyper stressful. This is hyper stressful, and it's going to increase in stress, okay? And it's going to expose on an even greater level the amount of sickness and disease and perversion and lies, deception, betrayal, abuse, perversion that's going on planet Earth, especially by people in very high places of power, money, and control. Now, get back to the personal level. Let's get very personal here. If any of you have significant Virgo placements, chances are you're going to be really slammed hard, okay? Please understand that right now. We're building up to a full opposition here. The Pisces energy is in full opposition to the Virgo energy. So all Virgos, if you have Pluto in Virgo especially, or if you have Sun and Moon or Rising especially, you're going to really feel it. If you have Saturn in Virgo, things like that. But Pluto in Virgo, and that's a whole generation. The Pluto in Virgo crowd, they'll probably be in their, I don't know, late 40s and 50s up until maybe even like early 60s, something like that. Chances are you're going to feel heavily undermined in some way. So please allow for that. Virgos, be aware. Dear Pisceans, be aware. With this much power piling up in your area, like your Sun, Moon, Rising or something like that, it's almost too much power to handle. You're going to have that stellium, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Neptune all piled up there. And wherever Neptune lies, there tends to be this very stressful energy that's incredibly hard to diagnose. It's the feeling of like, I can't figure out why I feel sick. Why do I feel disoriented? Why is the world so full of disease? Why am I so frightened? Why am I so confused? Remember, the beauty of Piscean, Neptunian energy is things like divine art, divine connection. Healthy use of Piscean energy might be with art, music, writing, divine inspiration in any way, shape, or form, in a very selfless, egoless form, in order to heal the planet and also for your own divine self-expression. But when it's under heavy conflict like this, you can easily get the more challenging sides of the Neptune energy to be exposed. And that's happening on Earth right now. You just have to watch or listen to any news fragment. There's plenty of people who are prospering and doing really well, but they were probably already lined up in the terms of power, money, and control beforehand. but in general, across planet Earth, there's a lot of sickness. I was talking to my sister yesterday, who's a very avid sailor, a global world sailor, and she was describing how sick the ocean is. You have to go out when you're in the Mediterranean, for example. She was describing how you have to go 10 miles out into the Mediterranean from wherever you're parked in order to find clean water, because all the coastlines all over here in the Mediterranean are now heavily polluted. This area here is heavily polluted, as you know, and there's a lot of pollution happening over here and here. There's a lot of pollution happening over here in the oceans, mostly because of human runoff. There's a lot of pollution here, okay? It cleans up by the time it gets around there. But that was just one thing she was commenting on. But my sister also she doesn't do it anymore, but she was actually a very high-level virologist at Eli Lilly. It's a big global pharmaceutical company, okay? And she used to go all over the world because she's super smart. We're very, very different. I have an extremely modest life. She's done really well. And she used to go all over the world, checking in with scientists and laboratories in different countries to pick up samples of all their different diseases that they're having in the animal world that is crossing over to the human world. So her work was very important, but there's some very nasty, scandalous things that happened inside the company Eli Lilly, and she decided to leave. She didn't want to be involved. Very perverse stuff. So there's a lot of disease and sickness across the world right now. Some of it is man-made, as we know, and some of it is naturally occurring. Either way, the theme of global sickness, perversion, betrayal, lies, deception, humanity versus humanity, is heavily aspected right now. The beautiful thing about you guys, us being here right now, is that we know this. So you don't have to be a victim. Once you are aware that this energy field over here, especially with the new moon, is a dead giveaway that there is the potential for some divine intervention, but also the potential for the disease that we have on planet Earth that is especially to do with man-made disease of all kinds, financial disease, physical disease, environmental disease, all those things that are man-made. We're going to see the very, very sick side of it, the very, very sick side. And there are a lot of, let's say, communication networks outside of the United States that are much more aware of this than people inside the United States. Inside the United States, we the people are being impeded in our abilities to have truthful, honest, full, open communications with the rest of the world, as in honest, genuine, fact-based journalism, for example. But if you look outside, if you're willing to open your eyes and be willing to be shaken up, you will understand that planet Earth is in a very stinky, diseased condition right now, and it's just simply going to get worse. I don't like to really say that, but that's what I see. So it's very important that more than ever, you learn how to love thyself, take care of yourself, love thyself, number one. And then from there, you can create an inner strength which allows you to heal others as well, okay? And be there in a good way for planet Earth, okay? So that's the Virgo crowd and the Pisces crowd. So let's say, for example, an unevolved Piscean type of character, yes, Ikat, the theme is the bioweapon, exactly, yeah, okay? So with the Piscean energy over here, this would be an example of fraud, deception, lies, and betrayal. And guess what? In the life of Tarot Illumination, I've been having to deal with this for the last 3 months. January, February, and March and I'm not finished yet. I've been suffering and dealing with the negative side of this Neptunian energy expressing itself. And I've lost a lot of money, and I've lost a lot of momentum on the channel, and I was really kind of depressed and sick for a while. This is the first time I've kind of been back on the channel for weeks, if not months. And so in my life, I am dealing with fraudsters and criminals right now who are acting and behaving as though they are divinely ordained saints, and they have full rights and permission to do what they do. The people that I've been dealing with are freaking criminals. They are destroying other people's lives, and they're exploiting other people's lives and their resources for their personal gain under the guise of doing everybody else a favor. It's evil. It's evil, okay? So, the Piscean energy it's building up, and it's going to be super strong starting next week. We've got the new moon coming over the weekend, roughly. So please be aware, Virgos, especially Pluto and Virgo crowd, you know who you are, and also Sun and Moon and Rising crowd, you know who you are. Be very aware. You might be feeling as though you're under a lot of pressure, but very, very difficult to understand or decide or even put into words. What is that pressure? Why are things so tough and so rough for me right now? Well, you can blame it on the planets. Okay, so yes, it's been really tough. I mean, I'm dealing with the FBI. I'm dealing with the Federal Trade Commission. I'm dealing with the utility companies' fraud investigations. I'm dealing with the police. I also had to go direct to YouTube, and they are not acknowledging the fraud. YouTube, I mean, I don't want to say too much about it because YouTube has given me a chance to have a life. But YouTube is basically looking the other way when it comes to a lot of the fraud that's happening across the internet, especially on YouTube. You have to be very, very, very careful, okay, people? Just letting you know. So that's the Pisces Virgo crowd thing I wanted to mention. Because of the nodal axis on the Sagittarius Gemini line here, you're going to feel it too, but I don't want to put too much emphasis on it because that'll just make the chart a bit confusing. But I'm going to put it in anyway. Anybody with strong Sagittarius or Gemini themes in their charts, you know, Sun, Moon, Rising, Pluto and Sagittarius crowd, be aware. There's a lot of pressure on you because of this, because this is squared energy. This is squared energy. This is super hyper stressful. So please, the Gemini crowd, the Sagittarius crowd, please be aware that you might be feeling stress above and beyond normal. All right? This is just a little tarot illumination heads up. The next crowd we still have to consider, and this is going to be going on all year, okay? Hello, happy-go-lucky. So the Aquarius crowd, this is very significant for the United States because the United States is born with an Aquarius South node, okay? And the United States was born with Sagittarius rising, Sun and Gemini on the 7th house. Gemini in the 7th house. United States is born with four planets in Cancer. So look at the opposition going on here with the United States. The United States was born with a Leo North node. Okay? So the United States South node is under intense pressure right now. And what's happening, it's like it is this intense reality check police, especially Saturn, is deep into the Aquarian energy now, exposing all the fakery that's happening inside the United States at the core of its foundation. Because as you know, the United States was, created specifically to combat the perversions of energy over here. And to do something that's good for we the people. And in order for that to happen, you have to have a very selfless type of governance, and it has to be maintained clean, where the governors are governing by consent from the people who are governed, okay? But that, of course, has been heavily perverted. And now the whole of the United States as we know it is under, it's almost like on its deathbed. So you have to be careful. And what's happening is the North Node is being woken up by opposition, basically saying to the world in America, dear United States, where is your North Node behavior? Where is the classic traditional Leo energy of the Leo North Node for America? Big question mark. Where is that? What happened to the United States? The United States, to work properly, you have to have a very healthy Leo North Node, which means generous, caring, protective, loving, fun, leadership, designed for you, the person, you, the individual, where you are not only given permission to you, but you are encouraged to be your own shining light, to be your own guiding light, where you don't have to live under extreme oppression from this perverted energy over here. So the United States is under intense pressure. And it's showing a lot of characteristics of something that is falling apart and collapsing, just as though it's like a human being who's had years and years and years of abuse and has now ended up in the intensive care unit in a hospital, connected to all sorts of machines, trying to keep it alive by artificial, let's say, energy. By the oligarchs, the people who are invested in power, money, and control. I'm not going to mention their names. So this is very, very sickly for America. And it's going to get worse, I think, through 2021. This is going to become more and more obvious, not only to the rest of the world, but to the United States, that we are in deep trouble. We are in deep, deep trouble. Our Aquarian South Node is in deep jeopardy. Our Pluto in Capricorn is sitting right on top of the last couple of degrees. So we are heading really close, tightly into our Pluto return as the United States. Think of this as the United States as a part of Earth. The United States is going into its Pluto return right now, and it's very ugly. Some of you are old enough to have lived through a Saturn return. If you have lived through a Saturn return, that would have happened in your life around the age of 29 to 30. And if things were very bumpy or challenging for you in your life at that time, you could blame the planets. You could blame the Saturn return, because the planet Saturn is the great teacher, and it's about a 30-year cycle. So as you reach your age of 29 and a half to 30, you go through this period of reckoning. It's called the Saturn return. And for a lot of people, it's really painful and miserable. If you're really harmonious and tuned in, then your Saturn return can be extremely rewarding. But you won't notice the real benefits till after the age of 30. But a lot of people have a very bumpy time with the Saturn return near age 30. Now, if you look at a Pluto return, that is a 250-year journey, okay? So the United States, if you think of the United States as a person, it's coming to the peak of its Pluto return, and it's going to be really dire, okay? It's going to take America and shred it to pieces as a test to see where we have failed to live up to the honor of Pluto. Pluto shows no mercy, okay? Pluto amounts to war, okay? And that's how it deals with problems, okay? Pluto is going to demand absolute 100% adherence to natural law. a natural law that overrides man-made laws to do with power and control and money. Pluto in Capricorn is being attempted to be hijacked by people who want to exploit this power for personal egoic gains. People who are deeply into power, control, and money on a global scale. You know who they are. So, the beautiful side of the Pluto return is that it's going to just destroy and pulverize anything that is out of alignment with natural law. And there are people, and the whole planet is going to be affected because it's going to affect the United States more than anywhere else on Earth, especially at around the year of end of 2023. So mark your calendars, all right? Okay, so one more last little thing, then I'm going to wind it up. With all this huge Aquarius stellium over here, okay, this represents a huge opposition to anyone with very significant Leo aspects in their chart. For example, the Pluto in Leo crowd. You would probably be in your, I don't know, like 60s or something, because they came before the Virgo crowd, and the Virgo and Libra and the Scorpio Sagittarius crowd. We have people on this channel who are part of the Pluto and Sagittarius crowd. They would be young people, okay? The Pluto and Capricorn crowd who were born after the age of 2008 are too young for this channel, so you wouldn't be around. But anyway, so this Aquarian stellium here is in a very, very stressful opposition to the Leo energy over here. So that affects the United States. It's very hard on the United States. And all you Leo folks, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Pluto. Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Pluto and Leo. If you got those aspects, you're going to be under a lot of pressure. So the tricky, probably the most, I mean, there's a lot of pain here and a lot of pain here. The reason I do these astrodoodles and charts is not trying to impress you about how lovely everything's going to be with your love life, your finances, and how are you going to, repair, when am I going to meet my soulmate? There's a lot of channels that do that stuff. I used to provide a lot of services that way, and I can still do that, but that's for personal private readings. But these are the stress points over here. Okay? Okay? Huge stress points over here, on top of these points, on top of these points. These are secondary stress points over here for the Gemini-Sagittarius axis. So just be aware. This is under a lot of pressure from here. This is under a lot of pressure from here. Now, if there's anyone out there who has very significant combinations of Virgo and Leo, then you could expect to be enduring tremendous pressure to the point where you think you want to just rip your head off. Just take it off and just turn me into a zombie because I can't take this anymore. Okay? TL, don't deliver unicorn farts. Unicorns don't fart. Good grief. And if they did, they wouldn't smell. Boy, oh boy. Okay, let me just reconnect. See if I can get there. See if I can get all these buttons to work again. Hold on. Let me check in with you guys. Oh, yay. Okay, so it looks like I'm still here. Greetings, everybody. I hope I didn't scare you. I'm just trying to give you what amounts to a basic weather report. I'm trying to catch up for the last few months because I was crushed. I'm emerging now to the point where I had enough confidence to come back and do this little show. But this is going to be it for now. Also, because my channel is so heavily compromised with the algorithm, I've created a new channel, okay? And it's called The Daily Transit. There's nothing there right now, but eventually I'm going to start doing all these things where, hey, subscribe, like, ding the bell on a new channel. And I'm going to still have to do shows here on this channel to tell people to go to the other channel and subscribe and like and press the bell. Because I'm starting from zero. Nothing, okay? I don't know what else to do because as many problems as I've had with this YT platform, there's still really nothing to touch it in terms of power and opportunity and scale. Some of the channels that I really love and enjoy, channels that are mostly to do with truthful communications and broad perspective communications like Sagittarius type energy on a global scale, have been shut down or blocked or obliterated by the American mass media, because they don't want us to know the truth of what's actually going on. So the channels and the little bits and pieces where I gather information, most of them have either been crushed, their algorithm has been destroyed, like mine is destroyed, and some of them have been completely deleted, channels completely deleted. Some channels, I've had a bunch of videos blocked. In some of the places where I go, they have either they do all sorts of things. They'll demonetize the channel, or they'll demonetize a video, or they'll delete a video, or they'll do strikes, or like my channel where they set the notification settings to almost zero so that nobody knows I'm here. And they consistently remove about 45 subscribers a month. So even if I beg for subscribers, and I'd say I had 100 new subscribers in the month, YouTube's going to take away at least half of that, because that's how they keep me down. It's different for everybody. I'm still lucky that I even have a channel at all. So we'll see how that goes. Can a moderator post that link? It's like I'm starting literally from scratch again. I'm gonna have to like reformat everything, put little links. Here's where you can go. Here's where you can get a personal reading. Here's where you can see the new astrodoodles. I don't really know what's gonna happen, or if it's gonna even happen at all. The thing about the new channel is that it's completely open. There are no what are they called? There's no strikes. There's no, what do they call them? Community guideline strikes. I'm starting absolutely clean. And I'm learning a very bitter, hard lesson that I might have to really, really restrict my language and the subjects that I deal with on the YT platform so that I can rejuvenate the thing. The other alternatives are things like BitChute, Discord, Twitch, DTube, and Fbook, and all of that stuff. But it's almost no point. And I don't have enough social skills or technical skills to be able to do all that extremely complex social media marketing. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I just wanted to check in with all of you guys just to say hello, okay? I'm not dead yet. Oh, the backup channel name, it's called The Daily Transit. So it sounds like a newspaper. You can thank Love Triber, okay? ECAD, you've had to start over 9 times. That's rude. Wow. Let me just write the name of the new channel. I don't know if you'll see it anywhere because there's really nothing there. I only just kind of, got it. Let me just go to the stage here a second. See if I can do this. Oh, it's called a new thing. It's called The Daily Transit. And the whole idea is that what I think I'm going to end up having to do is like a little video every day, like for 8 minutes or something, and I'll give the astrodoodle for the day. So there'll probably be a lot of repetition because some of these themes are not going to go away. But as the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars go zooming around the heavens, we will see the differences, so we can talk about that. But also the other thing is I've got to try and revitalize the Terra Lumination private consulting services. So the best way I can do that is to have a healthy YouTube channel where I don't have any strikes and I'm growing my subscribers, and I can monetize the channel, I can do super chats, and I can promote the alittlebookabout.com website so people can book for their personal readings and so on. Yeah. That's it, Ikat. Yes, exactly. I see it. Team W. It's my research team. #Team W. Okay. Ay. So anyway, it's been really nice to see you guys. Thank you for the donation. I saw that earlier, I think, from Necessary Truth. Yeah, let me just check up here. I'm going to see if I can scroll back the chat. Yes, there it is. A nice big bright orange from Necessary Truth. Thank you so much. So it shows that the super chat is still alive. So that's a good thing. Now that I've done this show, hold on. Let me just do this a second. Stay right there. Okay, so I went a little bit longer than I was planning to, but because I got a lot of help from a professional YouTube channel builder, just gave me a few basic tips. Just start from scratch. There's nothing you can do to repair your channel. It is totally ruined in terms of the algorithms. You're just doing what you can. It's like being on life support. So I went, okay, I just have to accept the fact that it's literally on life support. So I'm going to keep this channel going as we migrate to a new way of working. And what was the thing I was actually going to say before I said what I just said? Hold on. Oh yeah, they were going to suggest like 8 minutes a day, twice a week. Do that for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then do 8 or 10 minutes a day or 12 minutes a day, 3 or 4 times a week, and eventually you can get up, and that'll help to build the algorithm, and I'll hopefully get a little bit of chance. It's very important to get subscribers as fast as possible. Okay, so I'm going to be asking people to go to the channel, go to the new channel, the Daily Transit, and just subscribe, like, and ding the bell. Just do it, because that'll give the chance for a channel to start and grow again. So we'll see. So I'm probably going to be going begging for people to do all that stuff, but I'm just giving you a heads up right now. We're right at the very tippy end of a lunar cycle. The moon is almost all the way around, and we're heading into a new moon. So if any of you feel kind of disempowered or weak or fragile or listless or hopeless, or like, well, what's the point in getting up? Nobody loves me, nobody appreciates me, I don't have any energy. I'm extremely sensitive to the cycles and the planets. If you knew me and my charts and all of that, you would understand, you would see why. So if any of you are out there who are sensitive to lunar patterns or the astrology patterns, you have every excuse. You can blame it on the planets, but that doesn't excuse you from having to love thyself and take full responsibility. Well, what am I going to do? What now? What now? What now? That problem doesn't go away. That question does not go away. What now? What now? What now? The answer is always, number 1, love thyself. But after that, what now? You just have to do it the best you can. So the last couple of 3 days or so, the new moon is technically on Saturday, but maybe you'll probably feel, it depends how you're built. People who come to this channel are typically pretty sensitive to this stuff. A lot of people who don't come to this channel would not have any care or concern. They wouldn't even know what a lunar cycle is, so it doesn't matter. And it's not a type of bicycle. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. It's been lovely. Thank you all so much. Donation much appreciated. alittlebookabout.com if you want to book a personal consultation. It's still up there. alittlebookabout.com. You can connect with me directly, and we'll figure it out. Meanwhile, I'm going to play a song called Guided and Protected. I am guided, okay? I am guided And it should come up here within any minute now. I'm not sure why it's struggling. There it is. This looks like it over here. I gotta just double check something. Hold on. It's just a short, sweet song to try and give people some inspiration. Hold on.
I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected. When the light of hope it fades, when all faith is blown away, when all sense of trust goes down, when a smile turns into frown, when it feels there's no relief, nothing in which to believe, desperate in woe and grief, angels come reminding me, I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am guided, I am protected. Angels gather close to me, show me what I cannot see. Angels take me by the hand, lift me when I cannot stand. Angels lead me through the dark, soothe and tend a broken heart, laughing at the circumstance, crying while we sing and dance. I am guided, I am protected, 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 I am